Thank you, Rachel. Yes, and we're looking at the even money favourite General Assembly for George Bowie and William Buick. Sets a good standard, Amy, you have to imagine, with official rating at 80. Got two handlers just keeping him nice and composed, as he is quite a keen horse in his race.
Yeah, he looks really, really well. He had one start in Ireland before being gelding and joining this yard. They started him off over 7 furlongs at Southwell, where he went forward and just got collared late on. They dropped him back to 6 furlongs at Kempton. That was 34 days ago. He raced too keenly. They're dropping him back now to the minimum distance. On form, he sets the standard.
I think he might be going out early, as William Buick's already in here. We have number 3 next, Fahrenheit 7 for Tyler Hurd and Mark Usher. Needs to improve in what's a tougher race than what he's been contesting in.
Yeah, he's had just the 2 starts so far. Second at Chelmsford at 50-1 on his debut. He was then 4th at Hamilton on a good to soft ground. We saw him running 16 days ago. Beaten 2 1/4 lengths, so he kept on quite well late on. He's showing a fair level of form, but he'll need to step up, I think, to beat the favourite today.
Mick Appleby's representative is gelded son of Twilight Sun. This is Midnight Missile, horse number 5. Never really got involved over 1 mile, 1.5 last time, and drops right back in trip.
Yeah, was slowly away and in rear that day. Never really on terms. Beaten 15.5 lengths. That was 11 days ago. He was a big prize, 100-1, and he's probably one that's going to be one for handicaps down the line.
Just jig jogging and getting a little bit warm is Duran for Nigel Tinkler and Rowan Scott, horse number 2.
Yeah, and this horse can be a little bit like this. Has had 2 starts, was 50-1 on debut and failing to beat a rival. Gelded after that initial debut, was then third at 125-1 here over the 6 furlongs. That came just 10 days ago, so turned out quite quickly. Beaten 10 3/4 lengths though, so we'll need to take a big step forward.
And the one that we're looking forward to seeing, making her first start on a racetrack, is horse number 7, Felicity. William Haggis is here to see this daughter of Blue Point. It costs a fair penny as a 2-year-old. Obviously, they've waited with her to have her first introduction at 3.
Yeah, she was a 70,000 guineas yearling. That rose to 350,000 guineas as a 2-year-old. She's very well bred. Her dam was a 5 and 6 furlong French winner herself. She has a red hood on for her debut. She's also vet wrapped in front, but she looks lovely and relaxed, and she's taken everything in her stride.
Yeah, she's definitely got some size. You can imagine she just needs to fill in into that frame. She doesn't look like a typical Blue Point, does she?
No, they're usually like quite stocky but she's a bit taller.
Yeah.
Like you said, looks like she's still got a frame to fill, but really looking forward to seeing her get out on the track.
She's out of an Oasis Dream mare from the family of Group 1 sprinter Prohibit, so she's bred to be pretty decent, and she's been supported in the betting against the favourite here, so could be quite an informative race, and we're looking forward to it very much. First race today at Nottingham.
The girls' Blue Point filly for William Haggis, and maybe highly significant that this filly has been backed on debut for her top stable, William Haggis. James Doyle on board, and 2-1 against General Assembly. Well, I say backed against, I mean General Assembly's rock solid now. 5-6, getting shorter all the time for George Bowie, and William Buick has obviously got plenty of experience. Couple of placed efforts already, and was beaten very, very narrowly at Kempton over 6 furlongs last time out. Fahrenheit 7 is a 6-1 chance. Mark Usher finished second on debut. Certainly showed a lot of ability in 2 starts so far, and 2 starts quite unexpected actually in the market. So maybe Fahrenheit 7 at a big price might run a little bit better than that, although 6-1 now. 18-1 for Duran for Nigel Tinkler. Was getting a wee bit edgy in the paddock. Rowan Scott on board, and number 5 is Midnight Missile. Very early days for this gelded son of Twilight Sun. Alistair Rawlinson on board, and was well beaten 6th of 11. Ran here over the mile, and will be trying a very different trip this afternoon at a big price again though. However, they go with that number 1 and 6, 5 of them, and General Assembly, although there has been support, certainly Felicity put in with a chance, but the favourite rock solid. Jess?
Yes, certainly is. 2 non-runners make this a trappier affair, and I don't know whether the setup of the race, having 5 runners, will necessarily be a benefit to General Assembly. As we were saying on our preview section, has been quite keen. Just having a closer look at Felicity now. James Doyle's got on board. She is a lovely looking type, and it's just whether she's sort of ready to go against a horse who's got pretty decent back form.
Yeah, and he's interesting. He looked particularly well in the prelims. He started out in Ireland when he was well beaten on his debut behind Give Me the Beat Boys, who we know was a useful type. He was then gelded before joining this team, and they're sort of experimenting with trips with him, really. He's made his debut over 7 furlongs at Southwell, where he went forward, just got collared late on. They then dropped him back to 6 furlongs at Kempton. That was last time, 34 days ago, where he raced too keenly on that occasion. The winner and the second have both won since. The form's had a nice bit of a boost, and they're now dropping him back again to the minimum distance. So he may just be getting quicker with racing. Horses can just do that, and interesting now they're dropping him back to the minimum, and he's shown a fair level of form so far. And the fact that that form's been boosted from his latest run is obviously a big positive.
Yeah, just looking at what he did last time, and potentially that was just a bit of fresh, he'd been quite fresh at Southwell, but he was keen again at Kempton, and that was just the slight concern. But running okay, he's back on the turf, good to soft ground, I think it is, here today. You generally imagine the Sons of Star Spangled Banner would want it too soft at all, but it's pretty fair here today. But he's very, very solid, as you say. Felicity, we've had a really good look at her. She just really could be anything. She's bred to be pretty sharp, isn't she? She's got a lot of sprinters on her dam side, and she clearly breathed pretty well to get that purchase price, but for whatever reason have just needed to take their time with her.
Yeah, absolutely. She had the red hood on the prelims, but she was lovely and relaxed from the moment she came in. She's also vet wrapped in front, but she does look quite a weak, tall filly still, like she's got a frame still to fill. But like you said, a price, she was 70,000 guineas as a yearling, that rose to 350,000 guineas as a 2-year-old. Well related, she has a speedy family, and her dam was a winner in France over 5 and 6 furlongs with a mark of 99, so all speed in there. Maybe you wouldn't expect it to be quite as tall as Rangy. The sprinting types are sometimes a bit smaller and stockier, but everything she did in the prelims was a positive, and she didn't put her foot wrong so far. And so the thing is, we don't know what she's been showing at home. The market is the best guide.
Yeah, and Blue Points, we know that they're pretty explosive as 2-year-olds, but it's been very pleasing to see them come forward at 3 and prove that they do not only just train on, but they've got quite a lot of. They're quite tactically versatile. They seem to be quite straightforward animals, aren't they?
Yeah, they seem to be pretty solid, don't they, so far, what we've seen. So really looking forward to seeing her and how she gets on. And General Assembly, I suppose he has that experience. He's had the runs. He'll be a lot more streetwise today. And I suppose it's just whether he maybe gets loose on the front end. Yeah,
absolutely. It'd be interesting to see how William Buick settles to ride this horse.
He might actually be better, I think, in a straight line as well, because at Kempton sometimes they can... Everyone's bustling for a position and they want to get across to the rail, and sometimes they can just get lit up a little bit. So I do think in a straight line like this, he might just be able to get a bit more room and maybe be able to get taken away from some of the other rivals if they do want to take him on.
Yeah, it's noted that William Buick was very early into the paddock. This horse had 2 handlers. They left the paddock quickly and just maintaining his settled, relaxed nature, which he's definitely shown as much as possible all the way into the stalls, is clearly the prime objective here. And you can see that they're just being really looked after whilst the others get arranged, organised to go into the stalls. What about the others? I suppose, this is a tougher assignment for them. Fahrenheit 7 definitely, doesn't lack the ability, but this just seems to be a deeper kind of contest than what he's been used to so far.
Yeah, Fahrenheit 7, he's shown a fair level of form in 2 starts. Gelded before making his debut in second at 50-1 at Chelmsford. He then went to Hamilton over the 5 furlongs on good to soft ground just 16 days ago. Only beaten 2 1/4 lengths into 4th. Kept on well. Obviously, that's a much stiffer finish than he's going to face here today, but he's shown a fair level of form. I think he'll probably just need to take another step forward once again if he's going to get his head off, in front today. Yeah, and then we've got a couple more at bigger prices. Duran definitely put up a much more encouraging performance at this track not so long ago when 3rd. They put that run at Redcar right behind, and that was almost a year ago. So they've clearly done the best that they can do to wait with him, and he's not 125-1 shot today, but that horse was running over 6 furlongs, so quite interesting seeing him now back down to 5. Yeah, he's shown signs of being a big baby really on his debut in Seat of the Rider going to post. He then refused to enter the stalls on his intended reappearance, so he can be a little bit tricky, but like you said, that was a big step forward last time. That was just 10 days ago, so it turned out quite quickly. Still beaten 10 3/4 lengths, but still showed signs of green. It's a bit slowly away and was a little bit keen, and he's maybe just taking a bit of time to mature. Yeah, certainly a son of Invincible Spirit who's gelded here today, and definitely is going to be one to
of note going into handicaps, which will be eligible for a handicap mark after this run. Midnight Missile needs a couple more runs to be in, is a big price here today. I think again they're trying to work out trips for him. They've gone from a mile and a half a furlong right back down to the minimum. But on pedigree, that's what he sort of deserves to be doing.
He might just get a bit of a shock when the stall's open, but yeah, he was gelded before his intended debut, 100 to 1 on that occasion, like you said, taking a big step back down in trip. Just when the jockey popped on, he was just a little bit green, a little bit sharp, but looks like he's nice and relaxed now down at the start.
OK, well, even money General Assembly against Felicity at 7-4. She's the noteworthy one. William Haggis has travelled here to Nottingham. He's got 3 runners today on the card, and always good to see him here. Wathland Racing have got a couple of high-profile sorts, and Felicity, they've taken their time to get down to the start, but she's loaded out into stall 3. General Assembly will come out of stall 5. And I think that will leave us with just one more left to go in what could be quite an informative-looking maiden over 5 furlongs to start our afternoon here at Nottingham. This is the first time we head up to David Fitzgerald for commentary.
Thank you, Jess. Thanks, Amy. Here we go. So they're all set. And they're off. And a slow-ish start from Felicity, and also Midnight Missile a little slow to get into stride for this. Come racing at Nottingham Racecourse Maiden Stakes. General Assembly quickly away and leading Fahrenheit 7, the black and light blue of Duran, and then a gap of a few lengths to Felicity, who is just chased along, but is showing more speed than Midnight Missile, who is getting cut well adrift here. They've completed 2 furlongs. General Assembly with the advantage by half a length to Fahrenheit 7, chased along in third, only a length off the lead is Duran. They are still a few lengths clear of Felicity as they come inside the 2. General Assembly is now shaken up. The far side Duran, and then the near side Fahrenheit 7. Felicity still with work to do from where she is as they come inside the last furlong. General Assembly hasn't put them away quite yet, is just in front of Duran, and then Fahrenheit 7. General Assembly still with the advantage here. Duran is not giving in, but General Assembly has his measure, and General Assembly is the winner. Duran in second, Fahrenheit 7 in third, Felicity never really sighted in fourth, and clear of Midnight Missile.
General Assembly is off the mark under William Buick. A straightforward, uncomplicated ride. Get out the gates 5 and dart. And that's exactly what he did. And Duran put up a very good performance in second. From third, Fahrenheit 7. And the disappointment, Felicity, who was just a bit tardy and never really got involved. And she'll build on it, but this horse, General Assembly, had the form in the book, and they have been playing around with the trip, and I think also getting him really settled has made a man of him today.
Absolutely, he really deserved to get his head in front. Only his 3rd start for this yard. He started off over 7 furlongs, just got collared later on that occasion, was too keen over 6 last time. They dropped him back to 5 furlongs today, and I thought the straight track would suit him better just to relax, because sometimes on the all-weather everyone wants to bustle to get to the front and bustle to get to the rail, and it can just set horses alight. He settled much better today. Fahrenheit 7 sort of pestered him early on, but that horse has also stuck well to his task to finish 3rd, and Duran much more streetwise today. I said beforehand, he's shown signs of greenness and immaturity. I think he's just improving with racing and growing up with racing, and this was a much better effort from him. But the winner definitely had the form in the book, deserves to get his head in front, and like you said, Felicity was never really going from the word go. Midnight Missile dropping back from a mile and a half furlong down to 5. Got a bit of a shock here this afternoon, but the winner just sort of kept things straightforward, kept it simple, and like you said, they've seemed to have done a really good job with him, because he was lovely and relaxed at the prelims, relaxed down to post, much better in the race, and he just looks a bit of a work in progress, really.
He does. He's clearly got plenty of gears, and I think that's what they needed to try and sort of learn from him today, is exactly sort of how to ride him, his best, his sort of optimums, and back on turf as well, seen him to very good effect. But I just love this from William Buick, just kept it really uncomplicated and knew his task. You can see there Felicity, she's sort of not given a hard time at all by James Doyle, who probably just wanted her to learn from the experience she's come